if you choose to forgive your enemies and bless them, because they've been doing bad things to you, because you want to be different, you will find something changing in their life. You will find that there's something that softens a hardened heart by showing somebody grace. Do you know what grace is? It's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is like something with training wheels. Forgiveness is like a very basic thing that you do in your heart. But mercy and grace are something much deeper than that. Mercy is not giving somebody what they deserve. Okay? Mercy is like, man, you've been opposing me for years. You've been talking bad about me, and you tell everybody that you hate me, and you make me look bad, and man, I really ought to kick your butt royally. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So mercy has like a passive sense to it. Grace is not giving somebody what they don't deserve, okay? So grace is like, man, you've been opposing me for years, and you've hurt my feelings, and you've talked bad about me, and I don't really deserve to kick your butt, like royally. But I'm not going to. You know what I'm going to do? I went and got this $25 gift card from Carrabba's. When you're not looking, I'm going to slip it in your desk. And you're not going to know that I gave it to you. But in my heart, I'm going to show grace and forgiveness by blessing you. And then as the relationship develops, you start doing something more open and more obviously from you. And you begin showing them tangible grace. Mercy is like a mindset or a state of mind. But grace is tangible proof of mercy. Grace is taking mercy a step further. This could change everything for you. This could change everything in your heart. It could change your relationships, not just your enemies, but also with your friends. Man, I want to live that way, don't you? I want to be known as a graceful person, don't you? Because that's Christ-like. I've actually had to learn this lesson over many periods of time in my life. My mom can tell you that I've had lots of enemies in my life because of my mouth, mostly. But I've had lots of people that didn't like me. And just recently, I've had a new guy come to my fire station, actually within the last 2 years. And when he and I first started working together, it was butting heads every single day. He just didn't know how to deal with me, and I just didn't know how to deal with him. And then one day I was on my way to the fire station, and I was praying, God, what do you want me to do? I know I'm going to have to work with this guy today, and I don't want to. I'd rather you send me to another fire station. But if I'm going to stay and work with this guy, what do I need to do? And in my heart, God said, you need to promote him. You need to promote him. And what he meant by that is I needed to spend my entire day trying to find a way to talk with him and be positive around him and lift him up when he was around and lift him up when he wasn't around. And now, me and Julio are an unstoppable force. We're crazy together. We're good friends, and people know that you can't separate us at the fire station because I listened to God and I showed a real sense of tangible grace. It can change everything for you. All right? Okay, back to our story. You know where we were at? Terminator 4. Marcus Wright. He's been doing everything he could to prove to John Connor that he's not really there to kill him. He really wants to go find Kyle Reese and save Kyle Reese from the Terminators because he just knows that that is something that's programmed in his heart. John Connor doesn't realize that. And there comes a point, a real crisis, where John Connor could terminate this guy or show him a little bit of grace and let him go and see if they could actually work together and work out the same mission. And they do. They work out the same mission and they save Kyle Reese, except that this guy here gives John Connor a mortal wound, a fatal wound that injures his heart. This guy here is, of course, one of those. And John Connor is injured. But when he's injured, Marcus Wright is there for him. Marcus Wright saves him and gets him out of the place where there was injury done to him. And then this happens. Feel the clip, Steve.
Take mine. Marcus. Everybody deserves a second chance. This is mine.
take mine. He gives his heart to John Connor so that John Connor can live. Wow. Everybody deserves a second chance. This is mine. Jesus said, no greater love has a man than that he would be willing to lay down his life for a friend. And Marcus Wright got that. And he saw that John deserves a second chance because he got his second chance. In Marcus Wright's mind, he was dead already. He knows that he was put to death by the lethal injection and somehow he was alive in this world. So in his heart and in his mind, he was already dead. Did you know that that's supposed to be your mindset as a Christian? Look at this. Galatians 2:20 says, I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. It's the attitude that I'm already dead. That's what your baptism was about. You went under the water, and that symbolized your death to the cultural world. You came out of the water, and that symbolized your resurrection into new life. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, and the new one has come. Christians are supposed to live like we're already dead. I'm already dead, man. What can you do to me? How can you hurt me? I'm already dead. All I have to do now is live for God and just keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving because that's what God did for me. He just kept giving for me. He gave us a second chance. And so we deserve to give everybody else a second chance. There's another movie clip I want to show you. This is actually from the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and it's John Connor giving Cameron a second chance. Watch. Oh, hold on. Let me set it up first, Steve. Okay. John Connor has his 16th birthday. It's like his birthday. He's like, oh, cool, everybody's telling him happy birthday, but nobody gets him a cake. So they send the Terminator out to go to the store to buy him a cake. She gets into the Jeep, she puts her keys in the ignition switch, turns on the ignition, and it gets blown up. Fire everywhere. You ever have a day like that? You try to do something right and it all just blows up in your face? Well, that's what happened to her, and of course she got ticked off. In fact, her chip got messed up, and she spends the entire episode hunting Sarah and John Connor. So they end up trapping her. John Connor removes the chip from her head, and now John Connor is put into a position where he has to terminate her. And the way they did that in Sarah Connor Chronicles, they pour white phosphorus powder on him and light him up with a torch, and it melts all the components of the metal. So watch this.